the Bangladesh captain.
Haven't really been able to get going so far in this innings. And we're already 5 overs down, just about. Just one delivery to go in this over. Bit more pitch maintenance been done too, bit of gardening. It looks as if it's slipping just a little bit this end.
Well, like I mentioned, there was a lot of rain before, and even though the pitch is a turf wicket, it can still be fairly slippery at least until it dries out. And with night time about to fall, and it's not warm here in Sydney either, it's only about 17 or 18 degrees, so there will be a little bit of moisture in there evening, so it might even get a little bit more difficult for the pace bowlers particularly. Kai full in this one. Big appeal by Clint Mackay. He was the only one interested though, and they'll pick up a leg by backward of square.
Looks as if that one may have been going down leg side a little bit, just drifting towards leg. And another good over, another tight over completed by Clint Mackay. His figures 2 overs, no maidens, 1 for 3. So interesting to see if he gets another spell. He obviously switched ends there, and look, fantastically tight bowling by the Thunder so far, and they've got to be very happy with the score being at 3 for 16 after 5 overs. So Gurinder Sandhu now will continue from the Martin and Angus end. He's looking to get the prize scalp of Mushrafiq. This one's just towards leg stump, and he flicks it away, and they're going to get a quick single here, which will bring Mossadegh on strike. He's on 1. Takes the score along to 16 now, or 17 I should say.
Yeah, like I was mentioning before, Ryan, Mossadegh Hussain is highly touted in Bangladesh as a future batsman. Of course, Shakib Al Hasan is widely regarded as the greatest batsman in Bangladesh at the moment, and probably in their history. He is part of this 23-man touring squad, but not in the side today. But Mossadegh is averaging close to 71 in 18 games, a phenomenal achievement.
Sandhu, that's short, and it's outside the off stump. I'm not sure what type of shot that was, but it's gone straight through to the keeper. And well, I don't know how to describe that. It's like he tried to angle that down through to third man at very best, and it's just another dot ball.
Well, Mossadegh was so far off the pitch, he was nearly onto that second pitch on the field, the practice wicket there. He was well onto the grass. It was it's a very odd stroke making early on here from this Bangladesh Cricket Board 11.
Sandhu now comes in and he charges down the pitch. He tries to go over the top of mid-on. He'll get there. It'll just sit up inside the infield, and they're just able to get the single. Probably lucky to get that over the top of Arjun there again. So living life dangerously here, Bangladesh. They're just trying to recover from these early setbacks, and every time they do so, they just seem to, I don't know, play another shot that you kind of think, oh, that could have been out.
Yeah, well, there's really only been the 2 convincing shots so far, and they're both through mid-wicket, so there hasn't been a whole lot to cheer about here for Bangladesh.
Gurinder Sandhu, that one's going to be wide down the leg side. Well taken there by the wicket-keeper. Of course, New South Wales born, but now at Tasmania, of course, being Jake Doran.
Yeah, very
highly touted cricketer as well, and this is his first chance in the Big Bash League to probably take over the role as #1 gloveman for the Thunder. You see Sandhu come in again. He's looking for a wicket. That's very short, and it's straight over the ducking batsman, and as called a wide, which is very well received by the Bangladesh crowd here, because they're needing every run they can get.
You normally hear a chorus of boos when if that was to be called at a Sydney Thunder Big Bash League home game, but it cheers all around by the Bangladesh faithful, which of course probably don't get too much opportunity to see their Bangladesh side play. Of course, they were here for the World Cup last year, but the last series between Australia and Bangladesh, which was in Bangladesh, was 2014. So
I might just correct myself there. I don't think that was a wide for too high. It would look to be down the leg side more than anything, because, I mean, the batsman did duck under it pretty early, so it's hard to tell how high that bouncer was, but it did go, after it bounced, started to drift down leg side. So Gurinder Sandhu also just doing a bit of maintenance down his end. It is a bit tacky, the wicket, and it's starting to come up just where the bowlers are, but could really present some danger for spinners later on in this match. Sandhu balls this one, that's down the leg side. He's not too happy with himself as it's called another wide. His figures now 1 over. Well, he's halfway through his second over and he's got figures of 1 for 10. He's not too happy with the way he started.
That was a really wild ball. It seemed to just come out of the hand wrong. It was well wide of the leg stump line. I don't know if that has anything to do with the runner. Obviously, as a fast bowler, rhythm is so important to where you're going to get the ball in your pace. So we'll see if he can try and make amends this delivery.
Mushfiq on strike and he charges down. That's high in the air. It's going to go to third man. Kemdar underneath of his arm and he goes forward and takes the catch. Thunder have got another wicket. It's now 4 down Bangladesh for 21, and that is nearly towards the end of the 6th over here at Spotless Stadium. Disappointing to lose the skipper as well. He's the highest scorer for Bangladesh so far.
It's a really reckless shot from Mushfiq Rahim though there. Bangladesh are already in trouble. As captain, you really need to dig in and work hard, and that ball was never there to be hit. You saw Rahim looking at his bat afterwards, just went straight up in the air. I guess the fact that Spotless Stadium isn't a huge ground almost helped him because it did go 95% of the way to the boundary, but underneath that, Fawad Ahmed showed really safe hands, and they'll be delighted to see the back of the Bangladesh Cricket Board 11 captain.
Oh, that's exactly right. I mean, but you're right that this is a pretty small ground straight. As you can see, to the other sides, it is a bit deeper in the, I guess, the point and square leg areas here at Spotless Stadium. In fact, if you look towards the Vincent Fairfax stand, that's actually egg-shaped. If you were to look at this stadium from above, an aerial view, we'd see it's almost egg-shaped, and that's because this was a stadium for baseball during the 2000 Sydney Olympics. It's also the showgrounds here in Sydney. But that is a bit of a deeper boundary. In fact, the one towards the scoreboard end is even deeper. So that's why they're looking to play straight, but it hasn't really come off so far for Bangladesh, of course, losing their 4th wicket.
Yeah, well, they're under a lot of pressure now, Bangladesh, because obviously they've only got 6 wickets left in the shed, but they also don't want to get bogged down. They want to be able to pick up as many runs as they can, and the Thunder have been working really well in the field, and the field placements by Owen Morgan have been pretty much spot on. To restrict the amount of runs that they've been getting. So
Shivagata, the new batsman at the crease, however, they did cross during that last shot, so it's Mossadegh on strike. He's facing Sandhu, who's really recovered from some early slip-ups in this over, and that one's just outside the off stump, and he prodded at that, but it's missed the edge by just a little bit, and he manages to get through unscathed. But the score, 4 for 21, 1 delivery to go in the 6th over.
Well, balls like that are so difficult to play, and Mossadegh's only been in for probably 10 minutes as well. He hasn't had a whole lot of chances to score, so when you're bowling 140 clicks and it's just about that middle and off line, which is where you're taught to bowl as a youngster, it can be hard, really hard to get the ball away.
Sandhu charging in to complete his 6th over, and this one's down the leg side, and he stepped away towards the leg side, slashed at it, missed it, and Mossadegh gets through unscathed, straight through to the keeper, and that's the end of the over. Not a bad one from Gurinder Sandhu. 2 overs completed for him now. Figures of 2 for 10. The score 4 for 21 after 6 overs. Shivagata not yet to get off the mark, and Mossadegh is on 2.
Yeah, well, they just need to try and find a partnership here, Bangladesh, because they haven't been able to form that so far in this opening 6 overs. And the way that Mossadegh is playing, it doesn't look like he's keen on hanging around for that much longer. He's been backing away to the leg side. He's been trying to play scoop shots and ramp shots. It's just not what they need at the moment. Even if it means 2 or 3 overs, not too many runs being scored, just get their eyes in. Try and find the gaps in the field. There's already, the Thunder already have 4 players out in the deep now. With a man at deep mid wicket, a man at long on. Looks like a man's going back to deep square leg or deep backwards square, and then a sweep on the cover point boundary. So there is room out there for them, Ryan, to pick up the singles, and I think that's what they need to concentrate on, because and I think there'll be opportunities now with Chris Green bowling to just kind of chip the ball around a little bit.
Well, with those fielding restrictions also up as well, with the 6 overs completed, means they can spread out a little bit more and look for those singles. But Green comes in now and he plays this one straight. That's not a bad shot, and they'll pick up a single. Shivagata gets off the mark. He's on 1. Mossadegh is on 2. The score now stretching out to 22, 4 for 22. Can't do the Richie Benoit, unfortunately, but we'll take it anyway. I'm sure Bangladesh will take the extra run. Chris Green on. He's been the captain for the Sydney Thunder Academy this year. Played very well in their warm-up matches, went to New Zealand, also acquitted himself nicely there. He comes and he's bowling around the wicket to the right armour, and he just uses his wrist to flick this one to backward point, and Mossadegh moves on to 3. So as I said, Green is the captain of the Sydney Thunder Academy, been in fantastic form with the ball and with the bat. Played quite well in the 2 fixtures against Hong Kong and also the Stars in Albury. This one's outside the off stump, and tried to do the same, use his wrist to flick that around the corner, but it's just popped straight back to the bowler in Green. Had a breakthrough Big Bash League season last year as well. Young off spinner.
Yeah, very good batsman as well. That's what's been evident in the grade competition here in Sydney.
Pulls this one outside the off stump. It's popped up and it just beats the man at short cover, and it goes down to long off, and they'll take the single. So slowly ticking over the scoreboard here, Bangladesh.
Yeah, well, and I think for the Thunder, they'll really fancy their chances here because Bangladesh haven't gone into their shell. They're continuing to play strokes, so there's chances of wickets.
The run rate at 3.3 as Green bowls this one, and it's just flashed away through cover by Mossadegh.
And I think this is what Bangladesh needs to do. If they want to have some success in this match, they need to just knock the ball around for a little bit. You can score 60, 50 runs off the last 5 overs, so if they can put themselves into a manageable position to be able to set up to go for that in the last 5 or 6.
Green with this one now, just outside the off stump, and beats the batsman in the edge, straight through the keeper, end of the over. A tidy one from Green, none for 4 for Green off his one over. It'll be interesting to see if Sandhu gets another ball from the Martin and Angus stand end, but it looks like we're going to have Ahmed coming on now with his right arm leg spin. It's going to be interesting to see how he goes this summer. Another successful year last year for the Thunder, and hopefully he can come in on a wicket that looks like it's got a bit in it for the bowlers, take a couple of bowls.
Yeah, well, he's a vastly experienced individual. He's had a lot of experience at international level, but also at domestic scene with the Victorian Bushrangers. So yeah, he's a great player for the Sydney Thunder to lean upon in the T20 format. But just going back to that last, it was a nice first over from Green, but I don't think Bangladesh will mind too much with that over. Let's give them a chance to settle down a little bit, Ryan. Like, they've been able to pick up the 4 singles in that over, and I think that's what they need to just focus on at the moment. Trying to score off every delivery without being unnecessary. Pick up 2 or 3 singles, and if the ball comes along, try and hit it to the fence, but don't try and chance your arm too much, because otherwise they could find themselves out before the 20 overs are up, which is the last thing they want. Yeah,
well, there's deep long on and deep long off, which they're trying to target there, but that one looks like it came off the inside edge, and it's just gone to the man at a short fine leg, straight into the keeper. We've taken the single. Scoreboard ticks over to 4 for 26. Shivagata 2. He's on strike. Mossadegh on 5.
And as well as this being a practice match for the Bangladesh side, how good is this for the Sydney Thunder to play against international players?
Oh, the caliber's fantastic. They haven't proved it so far, but that one's a very lovely shot, flicked away through the onside, taken by, I think that's Green out there in the field. They'll just get another single. This is it. They've just got to tick it over, but the other thing is they can't let the tempo get ahead of them as well. If they get a couple of dot balls from a spinner, the spinner can just flush through their overs pretty quick, and then before they know it, their 20's up. This one's on the middle stump, and it's just played away through the offside, straight to Gurinder Sandhu at point. So another dot ball. Run rate hovering around 3.4 and over at the moment. We're into the 8th of the match. So Ahmed comes in. This one's outside the off stump, and Guy out of the way to the man, a third man. It'll beat him, and it'll go all the way down to the boundary for 4. And you can hear the Bangladeshi crowd just going off here. They're very happy with that.
Oh, well, it's a good shot. It's smart cricket there by Mossadegh. He's starting to settle down a little bit. Hopefully not putting the commentator's curse on him, but that was good. Just dropped a little bit short there, did Fawad Ahmed, and he just stepped back and just guided that. Yeah, through the... There was 2 players out at backward point and third man. It was well played.
So looking for a comeback delivery here. He charges down the wicket and crunches it over cover, a couple of bounces and into the boundary rope. And again, the crowd lifts, because that is exactly what the Bangladesh side wanted. Back-to-back boundaries. Ahmed just dropping a little bit short there again. And Mossadegh moves on to 13. Bangladesh 4 for 35 now. 1 delivery left in this over. Really need to come back here, the Thunder, because if they get a few more boundaries, that scoreboard just can start ticking over before they know it.
That's a really good shot, and I guess that...
It's probably the best shot of the innings so far.
It was a beautiful...